Hello, everyone. Lee Goff here, David, Michael. Like that, we had a lot of questions come in about the lead harvesting bundle offer that we have out in front of everybody. Great, unbelievable webinar. Had 100 and something people registered for it. We've already sold. Oh my gosh, there's already, I think, about a dozen people that have already taken advantage of it. We still got, 4 days left? I think 3 or 4 days left. But we got some questions from a lot of good people out there. So I've been documenting these questions. I got 5 of them that we're going to address today. And I'm going to kind of throw David and Michael under the bus here. They have not heard these questions, so they're about to hear these questions for the first time. You're about to get raw feedback. Okay, I've prepared a little bit because I've seen the questions. It might have helped if I'd have sent these over a little bit. But we're about to see how good these guys are. Okay, first question. Oliver asked this question. He is confused as how or why diversifying your lead magnets and your call to actions actually deliver more leads without traffic. I have an answer, so I'll get started because I've had a chance to prepare, so that'll give you a couple of minutes to think about that question and you can give an answer. Well, I know that this, honestly, I know how easy this sounds. I know, and the reality is that it actually is that easy. Hard part is putting the thought into the pain points there. And trust me, when you get into thinking about the pain points of your target audience, it's going to take a little time to kind of digest that. But if you think about this for a second, think about your buying habits. Think about how you interact with anything. You don't go there hoping to be sold. You go there because you have a problem. You don't go to the doctor saying, hey, I'm not really sick yet. Tell me what I got and we'll fix it. No, you go to the doctor, like me last week when I had the flu. And thank you two again so much for stepping up. Oh my gosh, lifesaver, guys. But I went to the doctor because I had the flu and he gave me Tamiflu and I was in bed. And so I went to the doctor because I had a legitimate, for real pain point last week with the flu. And so that's what the same thing happens with anybody else. So you really got to put some time into your lead magnet creation. Most people make the mistake of just having a contact us form or a schedule now or something along those lines. Or, and there's another very big mistake, is they're too generic in their lead magnets. 7 steps to make $1 million. 7 steps to become, Elon Musk or those are ambiguous, open-ended, pie-in-the-sky things. People want precise actions. 7 steps to get more leads off my website. Period, or whatever, very precise action items and steps. So the simple act of diversifying your lead magnets and delivering those lead magnets at the right time, because you'll once you get these lead magnets diversified, you sprinkle them throughout your site. Every single page should have at least 2, possibly 3 lead magnets. And again, I'm not talking about buy now, sham wow. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about doing it in a professional, polite way. If they scroll down 3/4 of the way, it's a very gentle little slider that comes in. It's not like, again, sham wow, buy now kind of thing. It's only if they've engaged with your digital assets, meaning they've scrolled 3/4 of the way down. But they're obviously interested. Give them what the hell they're interested in. If the page is on conversions, then give them a 7 steps to better conversions or whatever it might be. And so I've rambled on about that. David, Michael, either one of you have anything you want to add?
Let me see if I can understand the question, because it seems like there's maybe 2 questions here. Number one, is it why do you build your lead magnets before you have traffic? That's one of the questions?
No.
Or is it why do you have multiple lead magnets?
Why you have multiple lead magnets? A lot of people out there just stick with a contact us form or schedule now kind of thing. And what I'm coaching and what all of my students on is you need to have diversified, meaning specific pain points.
I thought he also said why before you have traffic in that question. So I can't speak to the.
I'm sorry, without going out and paying for more traffic is what the question was. It's not before you have traffic. It was without going out and paying with the existing traffic. Even if you're only getting 100 people to your site a month now, okay, which is not a whole lot, but hopefully it's super targeted.
Yeah.
Out of that,
this is. Yeah, to your point, I'd say this is part of the benefit of when you niche down, you can make specific kind of pieces of information, pieces of little mini offers that are free offers. That's kind of what I would consider lead magnets to be, that targets a specific pain point. And some people are going to have different pain points at different times. And you are going to have them on your website, and some people are going to have different needs, even if they're in the same niche, and even if they eventually will have all the same pain points. Maybe at one point they'll be here, at one point they'll be here. On my website, because at my long term, I serve such a broad audience, I was unable to do this, and so I had a pretty generic, just free SEO analysis, which is a great place to start, I think. But I think that long term, you want to be able to develop more things that will get people to go, oh, I'm interested in that. Because some people might not be interested in one.
You hit the nail on the head. It is, and a while ago I was talking about the hard part is really kind of dialing in on the pain points to create these lead magnets. And without having that niche, and I'll take it even a step further, niche plus your products. The products make this even 10 times easier. Okay, so if you're just a jack of all trades agency, this is going to be very difficult. If you're niched out, it'll be twice as easy. If you're niched out with products, it's going to be 100 times easier. That's kind of, I guess, the way to put it. But definitely, if you have a specific target audience, then you can really get into really dive deep into their pain points, right? A good example is craft breweries having to deal with the Untapped app. It is a pain in the ass. Okay, but if you are serving craft breweries and you have a lead magnet on how to deal with Untapped, make it easy, top 3 things to make Untapped easy for your business, they're like, oh my gosh, please, that's been a thorn in my side forever, right? So that helps. So, and Michael, do you have anything?
Yep. So when the secret to converting more people is kind of like if you have a mob of people that are going in a certain direction, is to get out in front of the mob, right? And then you can kind of direct them anywhere. And the ability for the lead magnet to talk to their specific problems allows you to segment those people out and talk to that specific problem. The other thing that the longer you're doing this, you're going to find a natural progression. So somebody's going to come to you in lead magnet number 1. Then they're going to get lead magnet number 3. Then they're going to get lead magnet number 5. And you know this, and you know that you're going to find out pretty quickly, like what stage of the business they are, what type of revenues they're doing, when you can actually expect them to be a customer if they're actually going through this process. So it makes it easy for you to put milestones into place just by the lead magnets that they're downloading, right?
Yeah, to their actions. In other words, if they come in and download lead magnet, whatever, like you're saying, 1, 3, or 5, or whatever it might be. Well, obviously, I'm not going to go download a lead magnet that's not my highest pain point. In other words, if my highest pain point is how to master LinkedIn for coaches or whatever it might be, I'm going to go seek that out like a heat-seeking missile. I'm going to get that one first, and then I'll come back. Hey, this guy's good content. Go back and get 3, and I'll go back and get 5. But from the agency's perspective, the number one thing is obviously their hot points. So try to close them on a product line that fits solving that LinkedIn or whatever, cracking that code, right? And so their actions will tell you what they're truly interested in, because prospects lie. We all know it, right? We all know prospects lie. Not out of malicious intent. They're not trying to hurt you. Most of the time, they don't even understand what the hell you're saying. They don't know what a lead magnet is, believe it or not. You know what I mean? That's just not their world. And so being able to kind of having that diversification of lead magnets out there and seeing the type of lead magnets they're going for, their actions they're taking, it's like a crystal ball into their mindset. It really is, and it helps tremendously when it comes to establishing the rapport and closing them down on a product line. So.
And it makes it much easier on the sales to dial in on specific problems, because you already know what the lead magnets they do. Or they've downloaded, so now you know a set of questions that you can ask to kind of dig down into them even more. So overall, it's a great process for segmenting the people out and knowing kind of what stage in your cycle there are, and then also understanding better the pain points, so you can have that discussion with them on the sales side.
And let me take this one step further. If you're wanting to actually delegate the sales aspect of your agency, this entire system is built specifically for that. So let's say you come in and you get a sales rep, okay? And again, if you're trying to hire a sales rep to sell jack of all trades agency service, meaning they've got to know everything about everything digital marketing, I'm going to tell you right now, 99.99% of the time that's going to fail, okay? And I can explain to you in great detail why. Don't have time right now, but if you'd like to hear it, let me know. Now, if you are bringing someone in and training them to sell a specific product line, you've got a LinkedIn selling service and a Facebook selling, whatever it might be. Well, when people come in and they opt into the LinkedIn lead magnet, well, obviously you delegate that to the sales rep that is an expert at that product, right? And so now it's super easy to actually build a sales staff, because now you can train them on 2 or 3 products. And anytime in the round robin or the delegation of the leads comes in based upon their expertise. If they are experts at selling the LinkedIn or experts at selling insert whatever product it is, when that lead magnet is engaged, then you delegate that lead to that person. Okay. All right. So anybody got any follow-up on that, or I'm going to go to question number 2?
No, I think we beat this one to death.
I think we beat that one to death too, but it's good stuff though. Good stuff. Okay. Question number 2. Where to go here? Okay. This one's actually from not David Hood. I don't know David's last name. I'm going to leave that out. But okay. He asked this question via Messenger. And by the way, if you have any questions out there, do not hesitate to hit me, David, or Michael on Messenger. We're available pretty much. Not all the time. I'm pretty Nazi about my private time, so I'm pretty available from like 8 in the morning to like 6 in the evening Eastern Standard Time. And so hit us on Facebook Messenger if you have any questions at all. But we're all available there. So the question is this: he's like, Lee, man, that 4492 thing, that confuses the hell out of me. Can you explain that a little bit more? And I'm like, sure, man. Okay, so all right, this really is the core. This is the core formula behind the lead harvesting framework. Just everything is built around this formula. Okay, so great question, David. I guess I should find out your last name, but anyway, great question, David. And so let me explain that one more time. Again, let's say you have a niche and there's only 100 people that you can serve globally, and that's obviously not ever going to happen. But let's just, for easy math, do that. Again, only 4% are ready to pull out their checkbook or their credit card and purchase a product in the next 30 to 45 days. Those are what's called buying units. Those are actually going to pull money out of their bank account in some form or fashion and give it to a vendor of some form or fashion to solve a specific pain point of some form or fashion in the next 30 to 45 days. Now, right behind that is the in-depth research phase. That is, okay, I know what kind of car I want, but I'm not quite sure which dealership, or I'm not quite sure which financing terms I want. So they're on the final research phase of it. They're really kind of diving into the details of the exact features they want on the car, the exact financing terms, the exact dealership, whatever it might be, right? And then you got the 92%. And the 92%, that's where all this comes into play. You harvest that 92%. Because you're defining your target audience. It gives you the ability to focus them in like Facebook and LinkedIn, but it also allows you to brand awareness or brand penetrate with your brand before they get into the buyer in-depth research phase. So what you're doing is you're segmenting your target audience based upon where they are. That's ultimately what 4492 means. 4% are going to buy. 4% are, buy in the next 30, 45, maybe 60, most time 30 to 45. And then another 4% is going to be, around that 45-day mark up to 90, maybe 120. And then everybody else is after that. And if you focus on harvesting everything after that, they will all organically drip down into these 2 phases. So that's really ultimately what it is. Because when you're harvesting that 92%, they all have their guard down. They're not going to buy it. They know they're not going to buy anything. They know they're not going to pull their credit card out. So they don't have their guard up. You know what I'm saying? If you're not in the fighting ring, then you don't have your guard up. You're outside the ring. There's no need for you to defend yourself because you know you're not going to spend any money. You're not ready to. You're not going to buy baby clothes until you have a fucking baby. I'll edit that part out, okay? You're not going to buy baby clothes. Okay, you sure? Okay, your audience is okay. You sure about that?
No, it's fine.
Okay,
speak as you speak, and we'll be good.
What's that?
Speak as you speak, and then we'll be good. If it's important, you're not cursing up a storm, and it's meaningful.
Yeah,
I curse sometimes. It's not a big deal.
All right. Well, if I offend anybody out there, hey, my bad. And so, at the end of the day, it really does boil down to getting people when they're very relaxed and they're just kind of chilling and kicking tires a little bit in that 92%. And it's so easy. It's so much easier to get them to opt in to lead magnets. And now you're building your database. And to give you a real world example, look at this. This is what I have been focusing on. This is, and Michael, you know me long enough. David, you're getting to know me. I practice what I preach, buddy. This is not something, in other words, this is not some theoretical crap I learned at TNC, and I'm coming back and regurgitating this stuff. This is stuff I do. Everything I bring out, this stuff is I use, and I have used in multiple $1 million agencies. So let me share my screen here, and I'll show you what this looks like in the real world, okay? So 2 years ago is when I started my lead harvesting efforts. Look at this. 8,458 people in my database in 2 years, okay? Over here on my Facebook group, 2,210 members, and this one was, about 2 years. And so that there's some overlap there, so it's not really 10,000. I don't know what, there's overlap. So I don't know what, 7,000 to 8,000 people, I guess. Dude, I can probably dream up, sliced bread digital agency product number 2. Send it out and make 10 sales now. About like that. That's the power of it. I am in control. I am in control of my family's future and my family's well-being, safety, security. And I've got it right there. That's the power of this stuff. So get out in front of that stuff and take advantage of that stuff. So, okay. All right. What do y'all want to add to this? Y'all got anything? That's kind of my formula. So I don't know if it would be tough to add on this one. Y'all got anything you want to add on that?
Well, I'll just say something real quick. I think that the philosophy, the meta concept that you're applying there is generally accurate in terms of you're looking at it as a long-term play. This is not a let's get sales in the next 30 days, which is sometimes you need to do that, but it's not how you build a business. You're building an audience of your target market that you stay engaged with, and when they are ready to buy, they're not going to go to anybody else. Or if they go to somebody else, you're going to have a huge edge over them.
They, you know what? People who buy from me now, okay, and this actually happened. This happened Friday. Not from this promo, from another scenario. He bought a proof copy of my book it had to be
proof copy. That's like a year ago?
That's over a year ago. Yeah, about a year ago, PartnerCon. It must have been like March. It must have been about a year ago. And he bought a proof copy. And this man, it was bad. It was all kind of ganked up. I mean, it was bad. Anyway, but I did it on purpose. Sold 125 proof copies, and I signed them and numbered them. And he was number 58, which is kind of cool. You get to go back and he pulled it out. He's like, look. And he pulled his book out and had proof copy number 58. I signed it when I was out in, I think, Phoenix or Scottsdale or something like that. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, point being is this guy's been following my content, and he raised his hand. This is exactly what it is. It's cool, though, because the guy gets on the phone, and he's like, Lee, I've been following your content for a year. I met you out there. He knows me. I mean, he knows my daughter. I hope Abby's doing good. At first, it gets a little creepy. You're kind of like, oh, man, how do you know all this stuff about me? But it's really awesome when people are, and David, I know you get this all the time. Oh man, I've been following your content for a long time, and they really are endured to you. They know you, and it's not even a sale. It's almost like talking to an old friend. I mean, it really is.
When they're ready, they're ready. I in my info business and in my client business, more for the client business, there are plenty of people who call me and they said, I've been watching you for a while, and then now I'm ready.
And they are ready. They have the credit card out. This is not a sale. I'm telling you, this is like meeting an old friend. I mean, it's wonderful. It's completely different than trying to go out there and pressure people into stuff. It's more of a pull instead of a push. Does that make sense? You're slowly magnetizing and grabbing and getting them to slowly
attracting them. Yeah,
attracting them exactly.
The big difference is from like a meta level is instead of going out there and building the trust in that conversation and saying you're the best guy for the job. They come to you already knowing all that, and it's not a matter of if they're going to buy; it's how much they're going to spend with you. And
not that you can't do
always so different.
Yeah, you can do it the other way. It's just a different process, and long term,
you got to do both.
Well, you have to do both at first. Eventually, this one will take over that one, though. This one, because you definitely have to do at first. You got to get aggressive at first. Go out there, get outbound, get aggressive, go. But eventually, as long as you're focusing on lead harvesting the entire time, eventually it definitely comes. You don't have to do as much aggressive push. The magnetizing of your leads start to do. They just slowly start to gravitate in. And I'm telling you, we have had just unbelievable results with it. It's been amazing, and I'm telling you, it's more like I said, it's kind of talking to an old friend, making a sell instead of having a buy now, ShamWow kind of crap, right? So, okay, we good on that one?
Yep.
All right, next question, Vivek, out of I think Netherlands or something. NL, is that the Netherlands or something? So, if you're watching this yet, this one's for you. I got this. Yep. Okay, I got this one in an email earlier. She was taking the course. She loves the course, and she didn't know that there were quizzes. We didn't even talk about quizzes. There are actually, you can go in when you take these courses. There are quizzes, so you can actually go in there and take quizzes. And we set it up to where you can actually get badges, like what's called social proof credit. You can become accredited. You get an accredited agency, so you can become a master sales, a master service, and then an elite master agency, right? And there's another one for leadership as well. There's 4 total badges. But yeah, so we actually have quizzes in there. And come to find out, when you scroll to the bottom of the page with all the videos, that little link right there might not be working. So click the one that says quizzes, and you can get to all of those over there like that. So I don't know. I think it's just on that one course. I've never had anybody complain about it. But anyway, point being is if you have any issues, click the quiz thing. But yeah, a lot of great quizzes in there. Take those quizzes. They'll give you a grade, and we can get you some badges and get you some social proof on your website from that. So, okay, let's see here. Any questions on that? That's a kind of a process system thing there. But, okay, now this one I know you're going to have a lot of feedback on. Sally asked this one. Call to action management. Okay, please explain this for me. What the hell's lead magnets? What's the difference? I mean, what the hell? What the hell's the difference? So I planned on this one a little bit beforehand. So you guys want to go first on this one, or?
I can. Well, so let's clarify what the question is. So she's asking, what's the difference between a call to action and a lead magnet?
Well, and the actual call to action management, meaning like having a platform where you manage it, and you can, once you put the lead magnet in there, you can disseminate it out to 50 pages. It just makes everything so much easier. Like I use Thrive Leads. Michael, I know you do as well. And so having a management system in there like that, here, let me show you. I can show you what it looks like here. I love them, and I'm telling you, I personally think it's a game changer. Michael, you and I've talked about this before. These things are just amazing. Okay, and so what this is, it's called. Let's see, it's called. Let's see here. It's called Thrive Leads.
Thrive Leads, yeah.
Okay, right here, and I just absolutely love it. You know, I mean, today, so over the course of the past, I don't know, I'm not sure what the date frame on this. I'd have to look it up. 171 conversions out of 5,351 impressions, 3.2% conversion. Down here, we got much better conversions. So these are the different lead magnets that I have: KPIs, proposals, non-step, success tools. Things. And these are the short codes. And so I can just literally, in a matter of 10 minutes, go into any page and pull out the lead magnet, put in a new lead magnet, just testing stuff out, right? And so, but it also gives me specific analytics on which lead magnets are working the best. Now, this dumps everything into my Infusionsoft account, so I do all the follow-up through there. But this gives me KPIs on exactly what's kind of going on. And so you can get in here and you can take a look at the conversions, and it'll give you really, I mean, just unbelievably transparent data into exactly kind of what's going on. KPIs, let me get that out of the way. This one is proposals. This is success toolkit. And so it's just giving me another KPI, level of KPI into which call to actions. Because again, you know, you can have one lead magnet and you deliver it 10 different ways. Slider, footer, exit, content. It can be anything. It can be literally, you know, banner ads, all these different things. So I want it easy to deploy that because I need to test. I'm a test guy. Test. And so these kind of systems help a lot in that. And so I hope that answers your question there, Sally. I hope that answers your question. Now, you got Michael, I know you've had experience with this.
So Thrive Leads, and you know, since David leaves this all to me, this is what we're rolling out with the Digital Domination Dojo. And so they'll probably see that here in the next month. They'll see a whole new look over there, and some of these lead magnets we're putting together will be up that way as well. But yeah, as far as being able to distribute it and manage it, it really comes down to a system like Thrive Leads on the front end, so you can test out the different ones. And then on the back end, some type of CRM marketing automation like Infusionsoft. We use ActiveCampaign, or we will be using ActiveCampaign. We have ConvertKit right now, right? So we're going to be switching over to a couple different things, but it really makes your life a lot easier. And then you can start managing these things along. What I would say is that on a page, you want to have a primary call to action, which is going to be related to whatever the content is. So that's where you start getting the 30, 40, 50% opt-ins on the content on those pages. If it's very closely related to it, then you can always have a secondary call to action. So if somebody's reading it just because they're interested or they're looking at it, and then you have like another lead magnet that's maybe your best performing lead magnet overall. That's also on the page, maybe over in the sidebar or something like that, then that gives you an opportunity to get multiple leads in there through that. So that's going to be the best way to kind of go around.
Yeah, it gives you another layer of KPI, so you know exactly. Again, if you haven't picked up on how critical it is to understand where your leads are coming from based upon all this, let me just reiterate that you have to know where your leads are coming from. And this gives me another layer of transparency into exactly how everybody out there, people who are watching this video right now, are interfacing with my content. And therefore, I learn every single time, and I deliver a little bit better, because I'm super excited about our brand, our new brand.
And here's actually a little nugget for that too, right? So if you the secret to really good lead generation is diversification, right? Because it's very difficult to get a lead magnet that you're getting thousands of leads a day on. Now, this is kind of like insane on from a agency standpoint, and this will probably never happen in most of the niches. But to get a lead magnet that's generating 2 to 5 leads a day, and then you have 10 of those,
Yep.
It's a different. It's a completely different.
Game changing, man. It's game changing.
That's so easy. That's so easy to do.
Simple. Yeah, well, it's simple once you get the lead magnet. Yeah. It does take a little bit of time, and that leads me actually to the last question I've got right here. David, do you want to add anything to that, or?
No, I don't. I've really gone super simple on that, so I don't. You guys are much more sophisticated in this area.
Okay. Wow, I don't get called sophisticated very often there, Michael. I know you don't either. Hey, so. All right, that actually leads me into my last question here, like that. And I was talking about how the hardest part, I'm telling you, is finding those pain points, and getting those lead magnets done. And that leads me to the next question. Joe had a question on the coaching call. Okay. Mentioned in the call, I was talking about how we can go over the exam, because you go through the full exam, and we've got a lot of those people already scheduled. And by the way, when you buy the lead harvesting bundle, if you haven't already, okay, you'll see this whole process. You'll see it. So whenever it's done, you can. I don't know which one comes first. It might be the exam and then schedule, or schedule and then the exam. But it's an automated process. It just walks you through the whole thing, right? And so it's awesome. So okay, so. The 30-minute coaching call, that's 100%. You can do whatever you want to with it. A lot of people come into it and say, I want to review the exam results, right? And we can totally knock that out of the park. A lot of people, they'll come in there and have a very specific scope creep is killing my profit, man. Give me 2 nuggets that I can do today to stop the profit leak. Or it might be, Lee, I'm not getting enough leads, or anything that ails your agency. Buddy, that's what I am here to do, okay? So bring that list in there. And if you would like to use that time to brainstorm about what lead magnets, what pain points you can really kind of leverage or lean into to create that, also have a lot of amazing resources that you can create lead magnets in a matter of 30 minutes to an hour. This should not be a week-long process, okay? I'm sorry, scratch that. Once you get the copy done, it's in a matter of 30 minutes to an hour. Again, the hard part's the copy, right? Getting that done. You need to put the time on the copy. It's all about the copy, right? Your copy is king. We all know that, right? So, or content, copy is king. So, that's all the questions you got. That's all the questions I've got. You guys got anything you want to add before we wrap this up?
Well, you mentioned the last question, but I don't think you actually said what
the last question was. I'm sorry, I kind of combined that. You're right. Joe asked if I mentioned covering the exam results in the 30-minute coaching call you get with the bundle, and he asked, do I have to go over those results, or can I come in there with a very specific list of questions, or get help with the lead harvesting pain point? And of course you can. That is your 30 minutes, buddy. We can come in there, and you're gonna be surprised at how much I can get straight to the point and really give you some action items in that 30.
I would suggest that you come prepared. Lee has a lot of experience, and he can give you his perspective on things. You take it or leave it, but at least there's a lot that you should probably take, and you can get a lot out of it. And just coming in prepared with some questions on, like, okay, really, what are the issues? What are the bottlenecks in my business? Mm-hmm. And getting his perspective on that is going to be really valuable. I'm really surprised that he's even offering this. So I'm going to try to convince him not to offer it anymore.
No. I will never take the personal touch. I'm telling you, the whole reason I built this business is because, and we're going to wrap it up, but my agency got so big that I didn't deal with clients ever. It's my project. Only time I dealt with clients is when it was a major, like a PR, legal, finance. It was a problem. I was never in the trenches, right? Working with entrepreneurs and small business owners. I was always dealing, I don't want to call it an ivory tower because we weren't that big. It's not, but I was removed from the client base, right? There was a layer, like 3 or 4 layers actually to get to me. And one of the reasons I built this company is because I love being in the trenches and helping guys like that. And again, Michael and I are OG, baby. We're original gangsters. I'm talking about? David, you still young, baby. You coming up in the hood here. No pun intended. But 20 years, Michael, I've been doing this for, 2000 was when I cut my teeth in the technology. So it's been almost about 20 years now, right? I know when I was building my agency, there was nobody out there like me that I knew of. It might have been, but I don't know how they could have been because the entire industry wasn't even developed yet. It's not possible. So take advantage of guys like me and Michael and David. David's just a badass, so he might get the OG badge just because he's a badass, but all right. So, all right. That's all the questions I got. I hope everybody enjoyed this little riff Q&A session. You guys got anything you want to leave with them? Leave everybody with. So,
give it a shot. I can't believe he's offering 30 minutes of his time for $97. If that's all you got, I think you'd get a great value, but there's a whole lot more. So, and there's a couple of little bonuses that me and Michael are throwing in.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, 3 hours of my time is $1,000. That's the way it works. That's it is. That's the God's honest truth. And you get 2 courses. You get the exam. You get 30 minutes with me, and there's something else out there. Oh, the webinar, on-demand webinar library. That is badass, by the way. The on-demand webinar library that's super cool. So, Michael.
Yeah. The only thing I'd say is keep an open mind. So you might come in definitely come in prepared with questions, but the questions you might be asking might not be what you actually need to hear. So Lee will be able to assess that pretty quickly with all the experience that he has in doing this, and just be open to hearing something maybe that you don't want to hear.
Yep, no doubt about it. And I'll tell you what, it's been very well received. I mean, we've already had, I think, 12 to 13% of everybody who registers already purchased the product, not just attended the webinar like that. I'm talking about actually purchased the product. And so for us to come out, we're probably going to end up with about 25% of everybody who registered actually purchasing a product on this thing. And so that is out. And if you've ever been in part of these kind of deals, those are outstanding numbers. So very well received. And I hope that everybody else out there takes advantage of this amazing offer. Okay, David, thank you so much. Michael, thank you so much.